The second she had the place to herself, she would binge. Let's talk about how this client went from binging as soon as, her boyfriend left, after a long weekend together, as soon as she got back from holidays with her family, to now just fully trusting herself, being alone and not binge eating. This actually mirrors exactly how my experience was with binge eating too. I would go for holidays, Christmas holidays, summer holidays with my family, and typically I would not binge that much. Sometimes if it was a long holiday, I would find some way to fit it in somewhere, but typically my binge eating would go down a ton. I actually used to love when these moments came along because I was like, yes, finally, this is my chance to lose weight in these next few weeks. I'm not gonna binge, this is great. And even this is gonna be a chance for me to break the binge eating habit. So maybe this time when I get home from this holiday, when I get back to my place, I'm maybe gonna be out of the habit of binge eating. But lo and behold, the second I got home, I would binge. I would be ordering that Domino's pizza while I was in the taxi back to my place. It was like this ritual that I just could not break. So this 30-day reboot student, what did she do? She set herself up to succeed. Create a high likelihood situation, probability of no binge. One thing, no restricting, even no mental restriction at all while you're on that holiday with family or while your boyfriend's visiting for the weekend. Give yourself one less reason to need that binge as soon as you have alone time, as soon as you have that opportunity to binge alone. Next up, have a game plan. What is this actually gonna look like when you have the place to yourself? What do you want it to look like? Not, oh, I just don't wanna binge. Like, what is this evening with yourself gonna look like? And visualize it over and over, like prepare in your head, how is this gonna look for me? And make that game plan as easy as possible. Low friction, low barriers. Really okay, detail. What am I gonna do as soon as I close that door? I'm gonna hop into my pajamas, or I'm gonna cook up this delicious meal, or I'm gonna do XYZ activities. Like really have in your mind's eye, what is this evening going to look like? And how am I gonna feel the whole time? And look, you're probably gonna fail like the first many times. You're probably gonna still end up binge eating, like just going back to that habit. But the key is you actually are winning in those moments still because you're trying to interrupt that pattern, trying to break, loosen those really strong neural pathways in your brain right now that are just so used to this automatic thing where the second you get time alone, boom, you binge. Like I was the exact same. Maybe the next time you try, you continue, to interrupt it a little bit more, but you still binge. That's okay. There's gonna be a time where you're gonna go through with that game plan and you are gonna succeed and not binge eat. That is gonna be such a key moment because it's this proof that you've been needing to yourself that, oh my God, this is possible. I can be this person that I really wanna be. I'm not that person who binges every time she gets a second alone. And when you get that win, I want you to celebrate that big time with yourself, scream out of joy, tell someone, write it down in your journal, celebrate it. So you just really feel that emotional intensity of this moment. Easier to start to repeat that again. The key though is, and I actually talked about this on a one-to-one call with a client last week, was you don't want to be, relying on, like I did, going to my mom's place for the holidays, trying to break this habit. Because the fact is in those moments, you're not binge eating because you can't, because out of shame and accountability of having people around. You've got to do the work to prove to yourself you cannot binge even when you could binge, i.e. when you're alone. And if you want to work with me one-to-one or do the 30-day reboot like this woman did, go to the link in my bio. Everything is there.